Ben Criddle here, ESPN The Fan and Cougar Sports. I got Ronald the3-Man Weaver from ESPN and Cougar Sports. Day 5, Kamp Kalani 2026. We just got done with some of our one-on-one interviews and the media scrums. Ronnie, you had some notes you've been taking throughout practice. What did you see? What did you like about today's performance?
Yeah, you caught up with Festi Satake. I'll let you speak more on that. But from what I saw, Legend Glasgow, I mean, Evan Johnson, we know what type of cornerback he is. That's the guy that's been covering Legend in practice, and Legend's been making plays. One-on-ones, 11-on-11, you name it. He's going to see the field. Don't know how much, but I think you can be very declarative of that. I think something I like from the twos group.
I can just reiterate, I just chatted with Festi. He was extremely declarative that Legend Glasgow has built trust over spring and these 5 practices, and he will see a lot of playing time this year. So get ready to see Legend, number 1.
I mean, hey, look, he's going to be a legend, right? All pun intended. And I'll just ask you a quick question. Can you recall the last time a freshman of that caliber was able to make such an impact in camp to go out there and play right away?
I mean, look, you always look at guys like Austin Collie. I think Gunner, may have had a role. I know Dax had a little bit of a role, but I think the role that Legend will play in this year's offense is going to be probably akin to an Austin Collie, his true freshman year in 2004, I think, before he went on his mission. Get ready for that. Legend can be that guy that he can have 40 receptions this year and 400 to 500 yards and maybe more than that and 6-7 touchdowns because he can take the top off the defense, but he's also dynamic. You'll see him, I think, run the football. You'll see him involved in a lot of different formations and a lot of different schemes, and it's going to be hard to get him off the field. But you also have 12 personnel, so where do you rotate him? Is he a slot guy or can he play outside?
Yeah.
And I think with how dynamic he is, he's not just a one-trick pony at the slot. You may have to line him outside a little bit when you do go 12 personnel.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it. Speaking of 12 personnel, Walker Lyons.
Yeah.
Heavily targeted in this session with the media. Nice post route. Got behind Cialia Sarah one-on-one in coverage. Had a 20-yard touchdown from Bear. Bear's a lot more decisive with this pass making. Knows where he wants to go with the ball early. You can tell the jump from freshman to sophomore year, but Walker Lyons still going to be a heavily targeted guy. Roger Salia-Ponga II, he had a nice wheel route. The tight ends for BYU, when they decide whether they want to go 12 personnel, run the football, pass, Ben, I really think the tight ends are going to be dynamic, something that stuck out with the twos. Trayson Bourget. I'm going to be a little bit declarative right now. Enoch Watson's going to have to catch up, but Trayson might have that QB2 spot locked up by the end of fall camp. Great ball to Trey Roberts, one-handed catch. Trayson, I really like what I saw from him. Jordan Chris was in coverage. And then the newcomer, we've been talking about the defense, cornerback depth, Javen Williams. Bear through I can't remember who the intended target was down the field.
Reggie,
right? And then
Javen. Blitz, there was a pressure.
Good pressure
by
the
ball
defense.
had to come out quick. They were bringing, it looked like maybe a 6-7 man pressure, so the corners were in man coverage. And, Bear tried to get it out to Reggie early because he had to get rid of it quick. Reggie didn't get his eyes around quick enough. Javen had eyes on ball quicker and was able to elevate, make a play, and pick off a pass.
Well, and you love to see that, right? Because that's a new guy coming in. You're looking, they had a couple of transfers go out. Who's that cornerback 3 spot? Still some, maybe nickel questions, right? Jonathan Gambale, we'll see how he does. But I liked what I saw from Javen Williams. And I think the biggest thing is I caught it with Sione Pua, defensive line coach. Braxton Lindsey was running with the ones.
Yeah.
High-level 3-star coming out of Arkansas. BYU beat out a number of SEC teams to get him. I think that kid's going to have an opportunity to be able to showcase himself. Sione Pua said they're going to keep that line fresh, but he wants anybody that's on the 2 to be a 1. They don't want to replace a 2 with the 2. They want it to be a 1 versus a 1 going out there. But, yeah, it sounds like Bodie Schoonover, Keanu Tonavasa, Justin Kirkland are going to be the guys that you're going to see out there going at it.
And then you're going to rotate. So that, to your point, okay, so you saw Braxton out there.
Yeah.
We've seen Nusi out there. We've seen Tausili. You're going to have a unique set of skills within all 3 of those pass rushers, Nusi, Braxton, and Tausili. Tausili is more of a speed, his inside spin move is phenomenal. Nusi can beat you with power, as can Braxton. Braxton's a little maybe lower to the, really lower half strong, so he can drive through you too with power. So all 3 different skill sets that will be involved, I think, in the pass rush, no doubt about it.
And when you look at all the skill sets, the high-level talent, and what a lot of those guys accomplish is something else that stood out from the interview. They have newcomers coming in, Ben, that are going to be able to have an opportunity to make a play, but so much experience comes back. A lot of guys play like Nusi, like Tausili. Justin Kirkland didn't get a chance to showcase. He's a P4 defensive tackle, right? He was a little bit banged up. I was told that he's down to a slim. And we heard from Isaiah Glasgow last media availability last week is you don't want to have to deal with that guy when he's healthy and in shape. So you got Keanu, you got Justin, you got Tassili, you got Noose, you got Hunter Clegg as well. You got Bodie Schoonover, who was told us to get ready to watch out for him. So, yeah, when you add all the skill sets, Ben, BYU might have more sacks than interceptions, again this season.
So who's going to lead the team in sacks then, Ronnie? We talked about this last week.
We did talk about this, and this is tough because I still went, with obviously my guy Katie Uluave from the linebacker position. But when you look at the way it goes, I think it's going to be Nusi. I think this is going to be the guy that's going to be able to get in. He didn't get home a lot, but he caused disruption, a lot of pressures, kind of better through that pick the ball to get out quicker. Nusi, I think, is going to be the guy. That's the guy I'm going to take. He'll lead the team in sacks.
I would love to see it. You got a young, talented roster there at the edge spot. And, just to kind of reiterate, though, those guys can't get home unless there's good coverage on the back end. You had Shmev, you had Trey, obviously, and then running with the ones. Tommy, I think it's strong.
He was
replacing Falatau, and then obviously Raider Damuni at the other safety spot. Do you trust the back end is the question. Right now, I think you do, until they prove otherwise, right? Until they last year they didn't give up a whole lot of plays. I foresee the same thing happening this year.
It's so interesting because you bring up Tommy, right? When he's just on the field, I feel like it's at the D'Angelo Mandel respect now where you just don't go to his side of the field because you know what's going to happen. Like he's showcased that, he's proven it. He's got great footwork, great ball technique, great in man coverage, right? Probably your best one-on-one safety, honestly. That's why I think he played nickel last year. But there's going to have to be a package, Ben, to have Tommy, Raider, and Falatau all in the field. Those three guys all are ones, and all of them have to play. They just have to.
Well, you may have to also rotate some guys down to the box. I wouldn't be surprised to see Falatau rotate down into the box. That's where he made a lot of his plays last year. And so you have great cover safeties on the back end, but also we chatted with Lewis Walker. There's a possibility where Shmev could also move into that nickel spot. Because of his versatility. And Javen Williams has shown well, Trey has shown well, and I think your safety room has shown well enough to rotate a lot of different guys through those positions. So on the offensive side of the ball, real quick, who's protecting the blind side of Bear Bachmeier? There's a competition there still. That has not been solidified.
Oh, okay.
So, Paki Finau was the favorite, the Washington transfer. He was, at Washington, he was playing mostly guard. He wasn't playing tackle. He's got the athleticism to play tackle. I think they're in a trial and error mode to see who can protect Bears' blind side. Today we saw Siosiwa, Latu Finau getting some reps at left tackle. He's an individual highly touted, highly sought after out of high school. And I think he was a 4-star. He's committed to Stanford. Decommissioned from Stanford, come to BYU along with his brother Kalepi, a guy to look out for, especially given the fact that Andrew Williams and Caden Chittister are no longer on the roster. So there's not as much maybe competition as you initially thought heading into fall camp with those two guys off the roster. So a young, talented crew at that tackle spot. We'll see who solidifies it. Yeah, it's going to be tough to see who plays that because Sienna Pua mentioned Cal Safarchuk was a guy at guard that really stood out to him, that's really been pushing the defensive line with Bruce Mitchell. And Andrew Gentry's coming back at right tackle. So, look, Paki could be moved into guard, but that's the best thing about fall camp, Ben. And I bring up this competition. Gary Bohannon, a couple of years ago with Jake Retzlaff, had it won probably for the first couple of weeks. We spoke to Jake on our airways, said, yeah, and Jake said he don't know what happened, but week 3 he came in and said it's not done yet. So you love competition. A couple last things. Keela Keone had a great grab in traffic from Bear Bachmeier, really threading the needle from Bear, got the ball out quick, and I think it was either Raider. I don't know who gave him the business, but it was the pull up. It was Kenan. Kenan gave him the business. He didn't pull up. So, but Keela held on to that ball. So shout out to Keela Keone. I mean, it was a great ball, great catch from him. And then I would also give a shout out to the coaching staff for trying to keep these guys up today. IG got a little bit feisty with Walker Lyons. Oh, yeah, gave him a little bump and then went back and keep them up. Keep them up. You don't want to get any injuries in fall camp, so keep them up. But it's good to see some competition, and there's a lot of tenured guys out here that know how to stay up, but there's still a competitive drive in all of them to win a rep. Walker caught the ball on IG. IG said, well, there's a tax. There's a tax to every catch. So he gave him a little tax on top of that. So that's Kamp Kalani Day 5, 2026. Check us out on 103.9 FM, 98.3 FM on ESPN The Fan. We'll be live from 2 to 6 p.m. today.